Are you a woman standing at a crossroads, eager for change? It's time to connect with your authentic and empowered self at Boss Leap. Join Dr. Sylvia Morris and Dr. Angela Walker in this empowering community where real-life stories of courageous and talented women inspire and motivate. Engage in honest conversations that foster well-being, drawing from our own journeys. Let us guide you toward profound growth and transformation in both your personal and professional life. Here are your hosts, Dr. Sylvia Morris and Dr. Angela Walker.
Welcome back to Boss Leap Podcast, the show where we sit down with the boldest, most brilliant minds who are building on purpose, living with intention, and refusing to choose between who they are and what they do.
I'm Dr. Sylvia Morris, and I am with my incredible co-host,
Dr. Angela Walker.
And listen, today we have a guest who is absolutely going to wreck your excuse list in the best way.
In the very best way. No excuses surviving this episode.
Our guest today is a corporate powerhouse, a faith-driven entrepreneur, a law school candidate, and a mother of four, wife and mother of four. And somehow she makes it look like a plan she's mapped out on a Sunday afternoon.
She's a business resiliency advisor at Fiserv, helping major organizations prepare for and withstand disruption. She's also the founder of Raven's Cravings, a baking business built on clean ingredients, family memories, and love. She currently is studying political science at Florida International University with law school firmly in her sights. And through it all, she's building a legacy alongside her husband, Leon, and their four children.
And this is not someone who stumbled into success. This is someone who has engineered her life around resilience, not just as a professional skill, but as a way of being.
So open your notes app, grab your journal, get ready to be stretched. It is our absolute honor to welcome to the show the brilliant, the unstoppable
Raven Lake. Raven Lake, welcome to Boss Leap.
Hey, how are you, ladies?
Hello, hello, hello. Well, our audience will know by the end of this you are one of my favorite people, and I can't wait to get into this conversation. And we're just going to go back to kind of where things started. You've built this career around helping organizations withstand disruption, but resilience clearly runs deeper than your job title. So we'd love to know where you grew up, how did that shape you, who you are now, and maybe how did you first discover that resilience was more than a skill for you? Is kind of actually who you are?
Yeah, that's a really good question to start off with. I always tell people I'm a Floridian at heart. So I grew up in Florida, down South Florida. Really
so that means not Miami.
Well, not Miami, but 20 minutes away from Miami. So like Broward County.
Okay, Broward County. Okay, yes. Fort Lauderdale. All right, I'm with you.
Right. So wait, is that still considered South Florida to you?
No, it is. But okay. People from Miami are like people from LA or New York. They're like, I'm from LA or I'm from Miami. They say
exactly.
It. Yes.
So I'm from Broward County, and I grew up really in the Fort Lauderdale area. Mm-hmm. I was always moving around. So I can't pinpoint it and say, oh, I grew up in the city of Tamarack or I grew up in the city of Lauderdale. No, we were moving around as children. So living in Broward County, mostly the Fort Lauderdale area, it really shaped me to be who I am today. I know it's cliche to say, but I say it all the time. I have a really good combination of street smart and book smart because of it. I've learned to be able to watch my back and what to look out for and how to conduct myself and how I don't want to conduct myself. And it's really who I am right now. And I'm loud with it. I'm flamboyant, but it's in a tasteful way. I'm not obnoxious. Absolutely. So growing up in an underprivileged area, it really lets you see how you want to become or how I want to be when I got older, for sure.
Wow. Beautiful. Well, I can definitely champion the fact that you are very much an animated person. True, you're going to know exactly where you stand with you, but just such a bubbly spirit. And I think, I don't know that all people come out of, what you just described with the same kind of grace and style. And so is there anyone in particular that you attribute that to, or it's just kind of, that was, how you were wired?
I feel like it was how I was wired. I didn't have anybody that I identify with when I was younger with saying, oh, they made me who I am today, or I act like them because of this. I just always know that smiling was easier than frowning. Yes. So I've always smiled. I've always, hey, how are you? Hey, gorgeous. Hey, beautiful. Because it was just easier. And I'm always made really good connections with people that way. So once I realized that it was a skill I had, I just it was always on. People are like, oh, you're so fake. I'm like, no, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Yes, I am going through something at home. I could be getting evicted when I was younger, but I'm happy. Things could be a lot worse. So once I realized it was something that I can use, people it wasn't too much, it just stuck with me forever.
Yeah. Absolutely. You get more flies with honey than vinegar, right?
There we go. So. Exactly. And the amount of connections I've made just by people remembering my personality is crazy. They go, oh my God, I love Raven. She's so awesome. I mean, can I be a personality hire sometimes? Maybe, but I know my stuff. So
you know yourself.
That is okay. So as a business resilience advisor, you help organizations prepare for the unexpected. And certainly that is needed in these days. So what's the biggest mistakes you see companies make when it comes to resilience planning? And what's the first thing you recommend that they fix?
A lot of companies don't plan ahead. A lot of companies don't have the business continuity management program instilled in their business, in their departments. And they think that, oh, something's never going to happen, or if it happens, we know what to do. But you may know what to do, but Bob, Sally, and Bill, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to conduct themselves or what strategies they should complete if something was to happen. So the really good thing about having a business continuity plan is it gets you ready. It prepares you for the worst case scenario. And it tells you exactly what you should do if some type of disruption was to happen.
Got it. So I want to kind of turn towards your kind of learner's mindset. You recently completed your associate degree in criminal justice.
Yeah, I did.
And now pursuing political science at FIU with law school on the horizon. Yes. So what drives you to keep pursuing education while managing a full career, a business, a husband, and 4 children?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. And if I can just be frank, some days are better than others. But I know that I want to finish what I started. I know that I have this drive and this passion to be in law. And every time I try to put it down and focus on something else, I'm like, I know I want to be a lawyer. I know I was made for the end goal to be a judge. So, keep going, keep doing it. And my mom always told me, even if you take one class a semester, who cares? At least you're getting closer to the goal. And that is what I did this semester, for my associate's degree. I didn't rush it. I said 1 class, 2 class, let's see what happens. At times it didn't feel tangible. And I think that's what I told Angela one year. I was like, it just doesn't feel tangible. And she was like, just keep going. And that's exactly what I did. No matter if I didn't have any student aid, I was paying out of pocket. I just kept going. And I want our children to see that it is possible. It is something that you can do. Don't let anyone tell you that education isn't important, because it is. And I didn't think it was at first. I just thought to myself, I said, oh, I have a 6-figure job already. I don't have any education, just a high school diploma, and I'm making it. So why do I really need it? But no, you really need it. I said to myself, I really need it. I really need to finish what I started. And just because the company I work for now sees my value and understand my value doesn't mean that the next company will.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Tell us a little bit more about that. It sounds like you just gave an example of why you feel like you need it, the education piece. And clearly there's going to be arguments, in both camps around that. But what made it like clear and evident to you that you need that piece of paper?
I think at the time, it wasn't anything in regards to work at the moment, because again, I've been working for the same company for the last 11 years. I've seen people come, I've seen people go, and you never think it's going to happen to you, when it comes to layoffs, but it's true. It can happen to you. And when I thought to myself, I'm like, you already have a bunch of credits already. Like, why not just keep going? And then at some point I was like, well, people are getting laid off. What happened if it does happen to me? Yes. And I say, well, just do it. What is it hurting me just to try? I got a C in one class, get an A. Try to get an A, try to get a B. Just try to do it. I've always heard C's get degrees. So I guess so I was like, let's keep going. But luckily, as I got older, finishing the associate degree, it was actually easier. I was like, is my brain more developed so that I can get this work like this? And then that's just what kept the fire in me to keep going and do it.
Yeah, I would imagine that your focus is much more directed, and you don't have a lot of time because you're wearing hats as a mom, certainly your career, and then also as a wife and your daughter and all the other things. Can we go back a little bit? You mentioned your desire to become a judge. So where did your love of the law come from? And then how does it dovetail into what you're doing as far as business resiliency and risk?
So I always, when I grew up, my mom used to always watch Judge Judy. She watched her day and night, and nobody could stand Judge Judy because she was so mean. So everyone wanted to watch Judge Joe Brown because it was funny, and Judge Mathis because it was funny. But I was watching Judge Judy because I'm like, no, that's not what she asked you. Stick to the facts. So as I continued to watch it, and me being able to talk to people and to explain myself and wanting to do research, wanting to understand the why behind everything, I'm like, I should be a lawyer because I can argue someone down, and I'm very quick with it too. And I think the quickness came from growing up in the hood when you got to be quick on your feet if someone says something to you. So I've always gotten, when I've said to people, I want to be a lawyer, they say, oh, I can see that for you. So them saying that 100%. To me, I'm like, that's the path I'm going to go down. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be an attorney. And once I become an attorney, then I want to sit on the bench and make decisions. I want to be able to impact someone and say, I'm going to give you a chance. I'm going to help you. Or, hey, you need a little bit more, jail time to think about what you did, a little bit of rehabilitation. So it was always those types of incidents or scenarios when I was younger that instilled it in me that this is what I want to do. And as it relates to business resiliency, I get the chance working in the current position I'm in to see so many different roles within this organization I work for. And one of the business groups I do work with is the legal. And even though they are discussing contracts and language of those contracts, I'm finding myself on those meetings with them and saying, oh, wait, what about this? Or this language isn't right. And I'm seeing how they're arguing in a good way, professional way, about this language. And I'm like, yes, this is what I like. I like to do the research. I like to talk about it. I like to talk it through. I think let's keep going. Let's keep going with it. I'm going to keep doing it. So it's really started when I was younger, and then it really translates to what I'm doing now because I do get to work with those different business groups that are also doing things in legal today.
And I think that's so important. So you actually have some tangible in your face experience with the attorney. So there's so many people that go through undergrad, a full 4 years and have never touched or talk to a person that actually does what they think they want to do.
Right.
And they get out there, and including physicians, right? Sylvia, we both know people that went through med school, and then when they started having to deal with actual patients, realize that this is not for me. So that's fantastic. And I think, people should, if it's not in your job and your sphere, to, really seek that out, some type of experience where you can actually speak with somebody, whether it's a mentor or work experience, volunteer experience in a field that you think you want to go into. But
agreed.
Well, let's talk a little bit about one of your other plans. That's what, Plan B, C, or it all goes together. Raven's Cravings, which I've had the opportunity to actually taste, and it is absolutely delicious. So you've built this baking business rooted in creating less processed desserts, making memories for your families. Tell us, what was the moment when you realized that, because I know this is a passion for you, but when did you realize it was more than a hobby and that you were actually in the process of building something?
First, tell us, what do you bake? Is it cupcakes, cookies, pound cakes, pie, cobbler?
Yes.
I need to know.
So I like to make everything, but Raven's Cravings is specifically built on desserts. If I'm craving a cake, if I'm craving cookies, if I'm craving cinnamon rolls, I'm going to make it 15, 20 times until I perfect it. And then I say, I'm going to sell it to someone else. So when it comes to cookies, when it comes to cinnamon rolls, when it comes to different tiered cakes, I actually just made my first tiered cake. I sent it to Carl Angelo. He's like, this is fabulous. It was my first time doing a cake, and I made it for someone, and I decorated it so nice, and I shocked myself. So anything dessert based is what I make.
Nice.
Yes. And when it comes to knowing the moment where it's more than just a hobby, it was really when people started, people outside my family started tasting what I was making, and the reaction I would get, it almost gave me a dopamine high. I was just like, oh my God, like they actually like my food that much, like something I made. And when they started to wanting to pay me for, I'll pay you to make me a dozen of cookies. Me? You gotta pay me? Is it really that good? That's when I knew. I'm like, I have something more than just baking in my home. Share it with the world.
Yeah. Definitely. So we know that running a food business is tough. So how do you apply your corporate resilience expertise to Raven's Cravings, especially when things sometimes don't go as planned?
It is really all about having a backup plan for me. If I know ahead of time, if ABC happened, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z after. I am really big on having a backup plan. And I teach my children that, I teach my friends that, have a backup plan. So if I'm preparing for a vendor event and I know potentially that I could be running late, okay, what am I going to do if I don't get there in time? So I'm going to call the vendor person. I'm going to think about this. And then if I can't get into the vendor event, I'm just going to go post on Facebook to sell. And what happens if you can't sell on Facebook? Then I use it as an opportunity to build new clientele with a shipping tip. And I just ship it to you. You just tell me how it tastes. Give me some feedback so I can make the product better. So I'm always thinking about.
Can I give you my address for a ship and tip?
It's worth it.
Yes. And Angela, she was one of the first people that was part of my tell me the good, bad, and the ugly of my product.
Yeah.
And so I'm always going to find a way out of a bad situation. Even if I couldn't get to that vendor event, I'm going to do A, I'm going to do B, and then I'm going to do C, and let's see what happens after.
Wow.
So that's really one of the main connections to what I do now. And that's exactly what business resiliency is having a plan. And when you have a plan, knowing what you're going to execute on once you've made that plan. And that's how I live every day, every single part of my life. I'm always thinking about A, B, C, and D as a backup plan.
Because we talk a lot now about resiliency, especially for young people. And how do you think we can do a better job of teaching young people how to be resilient?
I feel like, and this is the same thing with corporations, you got to get the buy-in from them. You
Ah.
have to get the buy-in for people for them to understand the value in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't just bark orders at my children. I explain to them the why behind it. I'm like, you're not looking at it from what happened if this happens, what happened if this happens lens. Just understand the why behind it and what happens if it doesn't go right. I feel that's truly how you connect with other people, explaining the why, not just barking orders.
Not just telling them what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so we clearly kind of have a picture already about how you actually model resilience and teach it. And we know that your oldest is going to the Air Force this year. And I know, and your other children are thriving academically and emotionally, all of those things. How intentional have you been in, modeling resiliency for them? And what do you hope they've absorbed from watching you? And is it really an intentional thing in terms of resiliency, or is this just kind of part of the process for you?
It is part of the process, but most importantly, what I hope they get from me in general, seeing their mom is someone that's just doing it and doing it gracefully. But also one of the main things when it comes to it, same thing I just talked about, talking it out with them, explaining the why, not trying to do everything for them. I want to hear you talk about a solution. Even if it's not the right solution, we're going to talk it through. And when we talk it through, then we can plan A, B, C, or D as a backup plan. So I'm not listening to them to give me a fake solution or anything like that. I'm just listening to see where your brain is at. And then let's fix it together so that we can smooth it out and refine it. And then you can actually go along about your day because you know that you talked this through with your parent and you've also came up with plan A, B, C, or D as a backup. So I am very intentional about how I raise them and using what I've learned from business resiliency to incorporate it into everyday for even my husband. Sometimes he gets tired of me. I'm like, what's the backup plan? He's like, nothing's actually happened yet, Raven. I'm like, why we have to wait for it to happen? That is lesson 101 for business resiliency. Don't wait until it happens. Plan ahead.
Definitely. But it also sounds like it's an exercise in continuing to build upon the trust. Because if I trust you, that means I can come to you and say, well, what had happened was, and then we can kind of figure out how we need to pivot or to take the next leap, as we say here on Boss Leap. You and your husband, Leon, describe your life together as centered around faith, family, and the long game. What does the long game actually look like in your household? And then practically on a day-to-day level?
For us, it is centered around raising the children. That's number one. And also making sure that they help out with vendor events. They understand that I'm not only just doing this for myself. Obviously, the funds and the proceeds, the profits go back into the house. So having the children help us every weekend with the vendor events, everyone has their piece that they work with. I'm not trying to slave them, all day, every
no
weekend.
Child labor laws.
Right. I'm not trying to take away from their life, but hey, you take care of this piece, I take care of this piece, and this person goes with me to take care of this piece. And as we do that, I feel like it builds, it builds them up to see, number one, this is, how life works. This is how a business works. It's not all peaches and cream. You don't just get to see the end piece on social media. This is how it works. And honestly, day to day for me is just making sure that I am caught up on anything legal. Like Angela mentioned before, some people go through med school and they haven't even touched, anything in regards to it. I like to immerse myself into the legal world. So if I'm cooking, I'm listening to real courtroom, not Judge Judy. I'm kind of off Judge Judy now. I've entered the world of right. I've evolved to the real courtroom stuff. So my son, he'll hear the courtroom going on. He's like, is someone at court? I'm like, yeah, they're streaming live live court. So I'm keeping myself up to date with different acronyms, different legal lingo that I should know. And also it gives me a boost, like this is actually where I want to be. This is what I want to do. So that's how the long game looks for us for right now. But as we continue to push on and we continue to be better, things always change. But you know what? We're going to have a backup A, B, C, or D for it. So that's
And because I have this vantage point, I just have to add that I admire the teamwork that I see you guys have in, again, raising the kids and, kind of being on the same page, but with your business and having this support. And I think, we can't say enough about, partners, friends, family that may not actually see your vision completely clearly, but support you 100%. And that can, certainly make all the difference in the world. So I'm glad that you have that and that you're able to soar and thrive in these dreams that you have that are, gradually coming to fruition. So saying all that, you are wearing so many hats, which I admire you for. So this corporate advisor, law school candidate, entrepreneur, wife, mother of 4.
Ooh.
Right.
Exactly. All the things.
Okay, let's just take a breath.
Yeah.
How do you manage, and you're so young, so I have to add that. How do you manage the mental load of operating at that level without losing yourself in the process?
And what I tell people all the time is sometimes I don't know that this is a lot. To me, it sounds normal. It sounds like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. No one is coming to save me, so I have to do what I need to do regardless. So to me, it doesn't sound like a lot. So I don't have a specific method to how I deal with the mental load, but I do know I lean on my husband a lot. When the days that I'm slacking on something, he's picking up. And one of the best things about it is we have a 4-year-old son, and I like to joke that he is all things mommy. He is the mommy, and he really helps me out in that area. When he see that I got too much going on, he said, "Babe, can you just sit down? I'll take care of the children. You just relax in whatever way you want to relax, because I know you're not going to just sit there and relax, but just relax and I'll take over X, I'll take over Z." And I'm just so thankful for my husband because he is someone that I can truly depend on. When days are heavy, he's going to pick up the load for me 100%. 100%.
So give us some nitty gritty as far as how do you then practice self-care, when it's time for you to rest and reset and refuel?
And for me, resetting and refuel probably doesn't sound like reset and refuel for others, but I know if I want to get some rest in or reset it, I'm going to get my hair washed. I'm going to go for a manicure. I just got one the other day because I found time. And making sure whenever I am resetting, I gotta have a clean space. You can't reset without a clean space. So I'm tidying up, making sure the bed is right, making sure the covers are washed, the floor is swept, everything is tidy. Once everything is tidy, I can relax. My guard is down.
So you like order.
Yeah, I am a very order and structured person. I'm a structured person. So once that's done, I know that I can relax. I get in the bed. I mentioned earlier, I love nostalgic TV. So anything old, like Heat of the Night, Matlock, Judge Judy. Yes. Even Cheaters. I love to watch it because it is such an old show and it's based off of real life, at least for Cheaters. But the Heat of the Night keeps me up to date because, it's all about law and order there. But nostalgic TV really helps me to relax. It's my comfort. It's 100% my comfort.
And I have to age myself because Sylvia might know this name, but when I spoke to you in the past, I asked, "Oh, do you watch Columbo?" And you're like, "Huh? What's Columbo? That was one of my mom's favorite shows. So love
With
that.
that trench coat in the hat.
Yes.
Oh, you know it too, Sylvia. See, I like to think that I am hip on all things. Like,
We're telling our age, but that's
and
what we
I'm
do here.
not. Look, oh Lord,
Oh,
now I gotta check it out.
Yeah, you're good. I think you've got enough on your plate. But before we let you go, Raven, we always end kind of with the same question here on Boss Sleep, and we want you to give us that one thing that you would want to let someone that's listening to this episode know. Maybe someone that's in the middle of a hard season, maybe somebody wondering if they can actually carry it all. What do you want them to walk away with knowing?
I want anyone who's going through something hard, like you said, a hard season, to know that it gets better and just do it. Just keep at it one day at a time. Nothing is a race. It's not a rush. You know, there's no finish line that says you have to finish right now. Just keep going. And once you keep chipping at it and keep making progress, you look back at that progress and you say, this is how far I've gotten. I can keep going. Simple as that.
Definitely. Well, we want you, everyone, our listeners, to write that down, screenshot that, and put it somewhere where you will see it every morning.
Yes.
Keep going. And Raven, where can people find you? We want to support Raven's cravings and keep up with everything you're doing. We can share your links also in the show notes, but how would you like people to reach you?
You know, I'm everywhere. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and it's all the same. Ravens, Cravens, and that's Cravens with a K.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, Boss Sleep listeners, please go and follow Raven's Cravens, support her business, order something sweet, because we all deserve a treat after this episode.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
Oh, thank you. You are fabulous. In person, on screen. I know everywhere that you go, we are privileged to have had the opportunity to talk to you, and can't wait to hear more.
Awesome. Thank you. Have a great day, ladies.
Thank you so much, Raven. It has been an absolute privilege speaking with you today.
Thank you for spending your time with us. If this episode moved you, challenged you, or reminded you of who you're becoming, please share it, listen, share, subscribe. Leave us a review at bosssleeppodcast@gmail.com. That's boss, BOSSLEAP, podcast@gmail.com. Tag us, tell a friend, because that's how the Boss Sleep community grows.
We'll see you next week with another incredible guest and another story worth hearing, and another reason to take your leap. Until next time,
may you be well.
That's a wrap on another episode of Boss Sleep. May this conversation enlighten your path toward personal growth and professional empowerment. For more thought-provoking and eye-opening discussions like this one, head to our website at bosssleeppodcast.com. Always remember to celebrate your wins and trust yourself. A positive mindset can push you out of your comfort zone and into far greater heights. Until next time, may you be well.
before we go, there's one more thing the lawyers have asked us to include. You know, it's the legal language. And you know how doctors love lawyers. This podcast is presented only for educational and entertainment purposes. Although we are doctors, on this show, we are just your friends. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of your physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Understood? Awesome. We'll see you in the next episode.